Hello and welcome to I24 News Sports Daily Magazine with all the latest scores and stories from around the world. Tuesday evening and we have a lot of sports coming your way. These are the headlines. We are still in March. There are 2 months to go, but Bayern Munich will clinch the German championship tonight. If they beat Hertha Berlin, no one ever won the Bundesliga so early. French clubs are now among the top payers in Europe, with players like Falcao and Zlatan earning huge money in Paris and Monaco. Is this good for French football? We go back to pick our top 5 goals of the weekend, this time making a tribute to the Clásico and choosing only goals from La Liga, 2 of them coming from the Bernabeu. And we take a look at the tryouts for cheerleaders in the US. This is a very big deal in America, sometimes even bigger than the game itself. Hello again and thank you for joining us. We are live from the Jaffa Port. No team ever won the Bundesliga title as early as March. Well, that statistic is set to change tonight as Bayern Munich travels to the German capital to face Hertha Berlin. A win tonight would guarantee the Bavarians a second title in a row with 7 games yet to play, 1 game earlier than the previous record set by Bayern Munich, of course, last season. It's quite hard to see the team from Berlin standing in their way. Bayern just doesn't stop winning these days. They now hold a record of winning 18 straight games in the Bundesliga. Manager Pep Guardiola may try to sound a bit diplomatic, but he also knows it's only up to his team.
It depends on us, but it's still 1 more game. So we will focus on the strengths of Hertha, and of course we'll speak about our strengths to win the game.
A tie or even a loss may also be enough depending on the results of the 2 teams behind Bayern Munich. Borussia Dortmund and Schalke do not stand a real chance of winning the championship, but there is so much at stake when they play each other. It's the big derby of the Ruhr, always a giant clash between these 2 neighbors from the western tip of Germany. Dortmund is currently second, 1 point above Schalke in third. Both teams know they will not be champions this year and are practically assured of a spot in next year's Champions League, but the honor they play for is much more important than any other trophy. Schalke lost the first Ruhr derby at home 3-1, and they sure would love to get their revenge in Dortmund's Westfalenstadion.
It's a game everyone is looking forward to. It's an emotional game. These 2 derbies are the biggest games one can give to the Ruhr area. We want to take this challenge and we want to see the team in exactly this way. The team remains cool behind all these emotions. The players do not commit any stupidities on the pitch. And yes, this is what such a derby is all about.
In other matches in the Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen will try to keep the 4th position leading to Champions League when they travel to Augsburg. Borussia Mönchengladbach, currently 5th, will hope for Leverkusen to stumble again and will try to pick 3 points away against Eintracht Frankfurt. In England, 3 delayed matches will be held tonight, among them the Manchester Derby. Manchester City will make the very short trip to Old Trafford to face Manchester United. The Red Devils are going through a dismal season in the Premier League and are nowhere near the title aspirations, but they would love to spoil it for their city rivals, and the visiting manager Manuel Pellegrini knows his team should expect a very tough battle tonight.
Manchester United, maybe they have a difficult season, but they're a very good team. It's one of the 2 England teams that stays in Champions League, so we are sure that we must make a very good game if we want to win.
2 more delayed matches tonight in the Premier League. Arsenal returns home to host Swansea after the beating they sustained from Chelsea over the weekend, and Newcastle will host Everton. Paris Saint-Germain is about to win the 2nd successive French championship, but the club from the French capital wants to also make an impact on the European arena. How can they do that? Money, big money. Some of the salaries paid in PSG and also in rivals Monaco are now among the top in European football. It's yet to be seen if this will be enough to bring success, but some harsh criticism is already heard in France, as Lise Barenboim reports.
France doesn't have to be ashamed anymore about the salaries given to its football players. This year, 4 players from Ligue 1 are competing with the biggest football stars, as 3 PSG players and 1 from Monaco made a sensational debut in the world's top 20 best footballers. French champions Paris Saint-Germain also made progress, becoming the 5th richest football club in the world. Although Leo Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo and Neymar receive over 25 million euro wages per year, Thiago Silva already earns 15 million euros per year, whereas the injured Radamel Falcao receives 14. The new French league stars are now part of the richest footballers in the world. Zlatan Ibrahimovic tops the list with a salary of 18 million euros per year. The Swede makes 1.5 million euros per month, along with bonuses and advertising contracts that add up to 23.5 million per season. One person who was shocked at the time by Zlatan's transfer from AC Milan to PSG was former Marseille manager Elie Bo.
We are in a sort of excess. I know today that Michel Platini in his European financial fair play is going to have a huge amount of work to do in relation to this club. This is such an imbalance. I have no comment to make. Financially, this is a great imbalance.
For some politicians, such salaries are simply outrageous in the age of an economic crisis.
Ces chiffres sont pas impressionnants, ils sont indécents.
These figures aren't impressive, they're indecent. They're indecent at a time when all over the world people are making an effort, where everyone knows the terrible consequences of the crisis which the financialization of the economic world has provoked. That same financialization seems more and more present every month and every year in football.
Du football.
However, such salaries are stagnating. In 2014, wages barely returned to the 2008-2009 figures. In France, the average footballers receive 35,000 euros per month after taxes. TV rights have experienced a significant downturn as they influence most of the footballers' wages. Knowing that their career is 4 times shorter than that of any employee, the ratio is less impressive than it seems, but there's no need to worry about the players as they earn 5 times more than the average citizen. Nevertheless, the gap widens between the segment of stars and other professional athletes. Of the 20 best paid players in France, only 4 are from Paris or Monaco. Examples can be set in the case of Lyon stars Yoann Gourcuff and Bafétimbi Gomis, who earn 7.6 million euros and 3.5 million euros each for their efforts on the pitch. But even these figures can't compare to those of American athletes. Zlatan's salary is peanuts in comparison to the 53 million euros made by Tiger Woods, or LeBron James' 44 million euros. But unfortunately, these kind of athletes are not likely to play in Europe anytime soon.
Now we go back to the weekend and choose our top 5 goals, this time as a tribute to the giant Clásico we saw on Sunday night, all our goals coming from La Liga. We will have, of course, some representatives from the Clásico here, but it wasn't the only game that ended with a 4-3. Almeria beat Real Sociedad in the same result. The first goal of the home team is our number 5, Oscar Diaz with a beautiful chip, and we will get back to this game a bit later. We promised the Clásico, well, here it is. It was 1-0 midway through the first half when Ángel Di María again found Karim Benzema in the penalty area. The French striker takes control and fires in. It wasn't enough for the Merengues to win, but it does give them our number 4 spot. Back to our previous game, there was one beautiful chip earlier, and this one is even better. Imanol Aguirreche, with a delicate touch, gets our number 3. It's goal number 6 for him this season, certainly one you can watch again and again. 3 weeks ago, Atletico Madrid captain Gavi scored an incredible long-range goal against Real Madrid. He did it now again against Betis. Atletico won in Seville. Their captain is our man at number 2, and with 9 games to go, the Colchoneros occupy the first spot in La Liga. And the Clásico is back for our number 1. Andrés Iniesta opened the score with this powerful shot. There were twists and turns along the way, but the Catalonians emerged as the winners. Leo Messi, who later scored a hat-trick, set up the first, and Iniesta did the rest. A giant goal in a giant game. Tennis time now as we head down to Florida for the Miami Masters. Rafael Nadal never won this title. The world number 1 looks very determined now. Denis Istomin had the uneasy job of standing in his way in the 3rd round. Nadal had no mercy for his Uzbek rival as he cruises to a very easy victory, 6-1, 6-0. The match between Stanislav Wawrinka and Edward Rodríguez Vaseline was much tighter, but the Australian Open winner prevailed, beating the Frenchman in straight sets, 7-5, 6-4, and advancing to the 4th round. Canada's Milos Raonic had quite an easy day at the office as he met Spain's Guillermo Garcia Lopez. Raonic did not really break a sweat before taking the first set 6-1. Not a big difference in the second. Raonic taking it also, winning the game 6-1, 6-2, His next rival will be German Benjamin Becker. And last is Alexander Doglopolov, who had a tough battle against lucky loser Dusan Lajovic. The Serb led 4-2 in the tiebreak of the deciding set. Doglopolov overcame his rival, winning in 3 sets, 3-6, 6-0, and 7-6. Moving on to the women's tournament, no major surprises here either. World number 1 Serena Williams had a rather easy challenge in her 4th-round match facing American qualifier Coco Vandeweghe. Serena won the first set 6-3, and she was too strong for Vandeweghe, beating her in straight sets 6-3, 6-1. Ana Ivanovic looked to be on her way to the quarterfinals after taking the first set in her match against Petra Kvitova, but then she simply stopped playing. Kvitova, of course, took advantage to claim the victory with a rather unusual score, 3-6, 6-0, and 6-0. Maria Sharapova also needed 3 sets in her match against Kirsten Flipkens. The former world number 1 lost the first set 6-3, but improved afterwards against the 2013 Wimbledon semi-finalist and winning overall 3-6, 6-4, and 6-1. Now to the NBA champions Miami Heat hosting the Portland Trail Blazers. For both teams, these are not the best of times. They had better days earlier in the season, and they both badly wanted to get the win as a confidence boost ahead of the playoffs. The first half was close, no team making a big run, and when Ray Allen is open, he will nail the 3, Miami leading by 4 at the break. The Heat made their run in the third quarter. Chris Bosh and LeBron James gave them an 11-point lead ahead of the final period. Done deal, you say? Not yet. The Blazers would not go away without a fight. Wesley Matthews nails the 3-point, and it's now a 5-point game. The visitors get even closer. Under a minute to go, another bang from downtown, and suddenly Miami only leads by 2. Portland actually tied the game. Last possession for Miami, LeBron driving in for the hoop. The Heat up by 2 with 11.5 seconds on the clock. What will the Blazers do? Damian Lillard drives in, but Chris Bosh is there to get the block. Clock runs down, and the Heat narrowly win this one, 93-91. Technique, strength, and smooth skills are a must for every athlete taking the field, but not only for them. In the United States, cheerleaders are an integral part of the game, sometimes being just as important as the players themselves. Being part of the prestigious squad is not an easy business, as only the lucky ones are chosen from the rigorous tryouts.
Smooth moves, sexy swagger, and $1 million smile, all a must to be a cheerleader, but that's just the beginning. For the 200 hopefuls auditioning for the Baltimore Ravens cheerleading squad, every beat counts, both on and off the field.
I just think it would be amazing to be on the field in front of that many people cheering on the best team in the NFL.
1, 2. After quickly learning the steps, it's time for a run-through of the day's routine. Many here are newcomers, but the current cheerleaders don't get a free pass and have to try out every year.
There are girls here who are in fantastic shape, and they're ready to take your spot, and they want it, and they're hungry, and you have to prove that you're worth them taking you back.
Unlike other NFL teams, the Baltimore Ravens have a co-ed cheerleading squad. The men literally have a supporting role and are the muscle behind the stunt team.
The Ravens has a stunt team and a dance team. Dance is all dance technique, and we, on the stunt team, we do collegiate style stunning, where we lift the girls in the air. So all the fancy acrobatics you see with tossing the girls and flipping and catching, those are the type of things that we do.
As the dancers perfect their steps, the stunt girls are taken to the side to rehearse with the men. The moves come naturally for some, for others, not so much. With 50 spots up for grabs, competition is tough, but the judges are even tougher.
So when we look for our final squad, we're looking for somebody with poise, who's well-spoken, athletic ability, and dance skill.
The job of a cheerleader doesn't pay much, and most on the squad have a full-time job on the side. But Dion says it's not about the money.
Baltimore Ravens cheerleading program is like a family. Because we have that co-ed element, it's like brothers and sisters. So it's been a good 5 years, and hopefully I have 5 more years.
Dion will soon find out if he'll get another year. The final squad will be announced on April 1st.
And we'll finish our show today with an unusual goal down under. Australia's Premier Division, the A-League, provided this fantastic play from the match between the Melbourne Hearts and the Central Coast Mariners. Melbourne midfielder Orlando Ingelar shot the ball from his own half, and it's a goal. The long shot goes all the way over the poor goalkeeper and into the net. Simply astonishing no matter how many times you look at it. However, the visiting Mariners were the winning side. 2-1 was the final score. Just like Wayne Rooney. That's it for us today. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget you can watch all our shows at our website at i24news.tv. We're also on Facebook and on Twitter. We will see you again tomorrow on i24 News. Have a great day.